Okay. Okay. Let's turn down the music. Welcome, guys. I don't know if the stream actually went live because I didn't have the browser opened, but I pressed like go on the streaming software. I hope it went live. I really hope it went live, but no one has been here yet. I don't know. Well, okay, I see it went live. Welcome to another stream. And first of all, thanks a lot for the 1K subs. That was really an awesome awakening today. Awesome news to wake up to see 1K subs on the channel finally. After like about a year, it's been about 9 months since I've started streaming. But yeah, I've done some videos before that already. Actually, I don't know if it is quick or if it is not. It's steadily growing, this channel. So thanks a lot for being part of this and making this such an awesome community. Okay, let's quickly open the game and stuff so we are ready for the games here. Because we don't want to mess up and miss any battles here. Okay, let's get the game on the right screen. Also, what I still wanted to do was to have a look at the current ranking. Because that's also going to be interesting. Some teams really are quite close to getting into the top 8 or even dropping out of the top 8. That's the most interesting part to us today, because some teams really have to do their best to secure their place in the top tournament. And it is the last PYS, the last previous skill tournament, the last one of the qualification stage tournaments. It is a 3-day tournament again. And we are on the 2nd day. But if like the 7th or 8th maybe does not manage to get into the final stage, well, might not be good for them. Our first game will be Loka versus HSOP actually. HSOP this season, I don't think they were performing too well. Well, let's quickly look that up. Let's quickly have a closer look at that. WoT Blitz. And let's get to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, okay, it's the right screen. Good. Clans. Top echelon. Loka currently placing first. Okay. Loka first, BPS second. They have had some inconsistencies lately. Jones also having shown some really nice games. They are still quite new as a clan, as a team, to the top level scene here. It's a 2nd season that they have together, and for that they are performing really well. They are definitely going to stay in the top 4. As I see it. EG has one tournament. They did not have enough players, as I've heard, but they will also definitely stay in the top 4. Vale, Immor, Great, those are the teams that will probably fight for the 4th to 6th place. Although I don't know about Raid, how well they actually are able to perform. APA is still quite close to drop out. I mean, Raid currently 7th. They have also shown some inconsistencies in their gameplay. Although, of course, having some very experienced players on their team as well. APA, yeah, 35,300. Let's keep that in mind. Let's remember that number. Any 34,500. That's about 1,000 cups. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure right now how many cups you get for each tournament, for each place. I will maybe be able to see that in game. HSOP currently not in the top 16, but they are in the top 32. Yeah, they are second in the top 32. They might still get into the top 16 if they are winning against Loka, against the first one. Well, that might be a little bit too much to ask for, maybe. HSOP definitely having blank nerves right now, facing the number 1 at the moment, and for HSOP it is quite important to get some cups, otherwise they will remain in the top 32. Placing second in the top 32 definitely is not bad, but maybe they would still hope to get into the top 16. But yep, as it is looking right now, they are not in the best situation for that. Okay, we do have Oasis Palms first. Desert map. I won't have the time anymore to show you the map. But Loka readying up with I7 maybe. Let's wait a second. Oh, still 12 seconds only. FE42. Is it going to be the FE or some other tank? We do have one IS7, triple Yo, one Vickers, and an FE42. Let's head over. Loka only 6. Okay, okay. Only 6 against the HSOPs. Oh. Big donation there from Ominous. Thanks a lot for the dono. Thanks a lot. That's a nice way to celebrate the 1K subs. Text is coming quite late, usually.
Underscore ominous underscore donated 20 euros. Congratulations on 1,000 subs. Thank you for all you do.
Thanks a lot, man. Really, thanks a lot. Okay, let's focus on the battle here. HSOP going to spot the desert area with the Vickers light tank over here. Loka having to be a bit careful about their hit points. They can't afford to lose any hit points right now, as they are down 1 tank and they are down 2,800 hit points from the start on. But they are doing some good trades. He's shooting down the Vickers. He already lost almost his entire life, about 1,000 hit points. Over 1,000 actually, 1,200, and he is quite trapped in that corner. If he wants to escape, he will get spotted, and maybe that will be his death. Whoa, that's it. That's it for the Vickers already. Misplay there by HSOP. Especially the Vickers trying to escape there over this little hill. He could have just stayed down in the canal. Would have been better for his health points, as he would get spotted on the crossing. And that's it with the gun advantage to HSOP. They still have a good hit point advantage, and they do soon have a double cap. But it's not going to give them the better positions here. They are getting crossfired from lots of different angles here. That's the thing about going for the city here, that your positions are really not the best. There are so many angles from the desert area to shoot into the middle and decap the base B. Even, who is it actually? It is Sebultastic here from the corner, putting in the decapping shots one after another. Those are only small HE shots, but they keep HSOP from getting the B cap and getting the cap advantage. But HSOP is actually going for a push here, as Loka tried to push the A side, and HSOP not hesitating to quickly counter push this. Unitastic already being a one-shot, Agile Hippo on the other side, also having suffered quite a lot, yet not being too low. Unitastic here, the first one to go down for Loka. They still have 5 tanks, not 6, because of having started with the 1 tank less. But Miss Pyco also being almost down already, as well as the right nut. Where is he actually? Where is the right nut? I'm only seeing that. Okay, right nut is dead now. It's dead now. And Fantastic also going down. We still have 4 tanks against 4 with a hit point advantage now on the side of Loka. And also Loka still having the FE42 on the field, which is going to deliver some really good DPM and mobility into the gameplay of the Loka team. Also the Vickers light tank also still on the field here. By now it is already a 4v2. HSOP really putting themselves into trouble here by separating their forces quite a lot, and yeah, sending those 2 tanks over here towards A, having 1 tank in the middle. All of them were getting farmed quite a lot before even getting to the fight actually. 2v1 now, nothing that HSOP can do about it. And they lost this first encounter, although having a tank advantage. At the start, not for long though. Not for long. The Vickers Light was soon to be deleted. Loka clearly dominating this one here. Proving why they are ranking first at the moment. Let's see if I can maybe quickly still open the strat thingy. So we can also have a look at that. Between the battles. Create briefing. Encounter. And what is our map? Oasis. We still have a minute. Loka, this time with 7 maybe? Yes, this time with 7. Won't make it any easier to HSOP. I feel like there is going to be a longer break then. There is going to be a longer break in between this and the next battle. Okay, just so you can quickly see, we've had HSOP get over to this side here, taking or trying to take the bases. Usually teams are like trying to decap C from the back while sending some tanks over to A. Maybe even having some spotter here with some TDs in the back. That are all good options, having this kind of map control here. Also, what we have seen quite often is full C pushes. If you are going back like this, you can still have some decapping shots onto B. Same goes from the other spawn, of course. So sometimes there are still some tanks over here to make sure that you can somehow still decap B, hold the upper side here, keep some map control to not go to the city with everyone. Let's see what HSOP is going to deliver on this one now. Turn off the music and head up. Okay, I still have to click the right screen here. And we are about to see what's going on. I7 pushing the canal up, as it seems. No, he's not pushing the canal. He is just going in front of C towards this rock here, where he is going to stay to keep up the spots. The Vickers Light here doing a good job of getting in the first spot, getting in one shot into this IS-7 already. The White Nut now being kind of alone, quite alone there in front of everyone. I don't think he has enough backup. And as soon as Loka notices this, they will push on to him. There they are going already. They are building up the pressure. The IS-7 really not having too much backup here. Also getting shot from the left side. It is Fantastic still camping behind B, responsible for the B decapping shots. And now also able to put in some crossfire into the right nut, who is heavily under pressure by Anyatastic and Unitastic here. And there goes the right nut, not having any backup from behind. That's what HSOP should have definitely taken care of, to cover every single tank. And if they are sending one tank that aggressive into the city. Yeah, but more about this in the analysis part. Let's see what is going on here. Late Boy already lost about half of his hit points and is under pressure. He and Bangsu are quite isolated here, trapped in this little area behind these houses. already getting pushed onto by the Loka team, who notices about this advantage here. They can push out from the right side and the left side to get in the crossfire and not allow the HSOP guys to escape anywhere. The Vickers light tank here also quite aggressive, actually, behind the houses, not in the back, as a Vickers or medium tank should mostly be positioned. Going quite aggressive here for HSOP, not really paying off. They try to just send one tank to hold C completely alone, while everyone else was heading towards A, trying to fight off A, but not finding anyone over there. There was the VK90 positioned quite passively behind B. Pushing onto this VK90 would have been the only thing that Loka or HSOP could have done here with all the tanks up there to somehow still keep a tank advantage, but pushing this VK90 would not have led them to success, because the VK could just drop down to get help by his teammates. It was a best of 3, so this one is a victory to Loka already. Was a quick round. So I'm going to quickly check what our next game is going to be. And then I will take some closer look at the previous games there to analyze a little bit what exactly happened there. So what we have to keep in mind, ANI, Recam, or especially ANI and APA, their outcomes today will be super important, as we want to know which of these teams is going to get into the top 8. I don't know yet if we are going to see any of them, because as usual, Wargaming has not really provided me with a lot of information. Maybe I can actually, let me quickly check something. Maybe they have marked my group or something. Sometimes they do this right before the tournament. Also, just so you see what I'm doing here, I will just Discord. Let's turn off the strats thingy and see. Prove Your Skill tournament number 4 is what we have right now. The last of the Prove Your Skill tournaments. So we just had our first games of Loka versus HSOP. Also APA won the first encounter. Let's increase the size a little bit here. Just, yeah, you don't even see more than that. It's going to be like this, okay. Okay. AG won some games. Vale lost. I don't know if it was the second team. I don't know if it was the second team or the first one. I think this one was the second team. The first team won, actually. Okay. EG, please top 8. But yeah. Let's see. Schedule. What is the next game going to be in 20 minutes? So we do have some time to relax a little bit and then also analyze the games. We are most likely going to see Loka again. Loka versus ANI. 2 top 8 teams. Well, ANI just dropped out of the top 8 and gave the place to APA. So, ANI also under pressure, as well as HSOP, although HSOP clearly did not really have a serious chance against Loka there, let's be honest about this. But ANI also having to try their best. They have to win this. Loka does not need to win. They can afford to lose, and they will still stay in the top 8. The only thing important for Loka is to get a good ranking at the moment, because, you know, it is best versus worst in the seeding is best versus worst in the professional tournament then at the start. So if you got a good ranking, you will face the weakest team. If you got a bad ranking, you will face the strongest teams. And by that, you already might have a big disadvantage. That is a little bit problematic there. Also, it decides whether you do get like, I don't think if you get into the lower bracket, you only have one chance. If you are starting in the upper bracket, in the top 4, then you can still drop down into the lower bracket and get another chance to get into the top final. But if you lose in a lower bracket, you are out. I hope they didn't change it and I'm talking nonsense here, but that's how it's been before. If I am not doing any mistake about this. Well, okay, let's quickly check on Discord whether I do have any information. We should actually be following Loka still. So next match is definitely going to be interesting. Two very strong teams, although Loka definitely one of the favorites for the final stages of this tournament. But still, Ani having proven to also have some really good approaches on this game. Okay. Today is the 25th. Okay. Yeah, we are going to follow Loka all evening long. Nice. Have not seen too many Loka games so far, so I'm glad that we get the option now to have another look at another top participant. Although EG is another team that I have not streamed yet. Not a single game. But Raid, Ani, BPS, Jones, I don't know if I have streamed them, I don't think so, but I have seen them on other streams already. And I really remember them from the previous season where they also really played well. So what I'm going to do right now is to have a closer look at our previous battles there, to check how HSOP lost this there. Because, you know, they should have really not lost it in a 6 versus 7. But of course, they are not like the most experienced team. Sorry that you could quickly hear myself. Okay. Oh, stream had some frame drops. I hope it's fine. Oh, I forgot something. I have to turn on the ventilation system. Sometimes I'm forgetting about this. Good. Sorry that there were some frame drops on the stream. I hope it was somewhat fine still. It will be better in a second. Is it really a journey? Yes, it is a journey. Okay, let's have a look at what VPS did there. Not VPS, HSOP. What am I talking? Okay. Quickly opening my screen brush so I can mark some things here. So pay attention to what Loka is doing. They are keeping some tanks in the back passively because they really want to not overextend it. Yet still they have the FE42 super aggressive in the desert area from where you can get a quick shot into the Vickers already. The other Vickers went towards the middle to get in the spots. He spotted up the M60 at least. I think the I7 was not spotted yet. Vickers Light here clearly suffered way too much. He did not go for the safe spot over there, or maybe even like more aggressive in the middle area. He was going to the outside quite far. Not having any backup now, doing a huge mistake there of crossing over this hill instead of trying to stay down and maybe moving out like this, which would have really been way safer. Maybe I can adjust the color a little bit, because yeah, green is better if we're having red and blue here. So yeah, let's quickly go for a break here. We are seeing like Loka having some, or very soon they are moving back to have some decapping shots onto B, which is working perfectly fine through this lane here. But yeah, they keep capping the base, or keep trying to cap the base. I was already quite worried about these guys here at this point. There are the IS-7 and yeah, both of these IS-7s being super aggressive here in the enemy spawn, although there are 3 tanks in front of them, and all the Loka team can just crossfire them if they are moving out any more than what they are doing right now. And Loka is not hesitating to counter push exactly this weak spot, because they know there is this M6 here very far behind. There is this IS-7. I'm not entirely sure whether he was spotted or not. But okay, they can just ignore these 2 tanks, and Loka does have quite a lot of mobility on the field right now, as they're having the Vickers Knight tank and the FE42 in the desert, and most other tanks actually already being very close to these 2. So if they are just pushing in here, more like through the spawn, they can ignore 2 tanks for killing these 2 tanks. These 2, of course, will be able to help out. But also the Kranwagen clearly does not have a tremendous DPM. So Kranwagen it can be ignored for some time. It is not too dangerous, although taking a clip hurts at the start. And then the Kranwagen is just useless then, because it does have like 12 seconds for a 1 shot of 400 damage. Whereas an M6 would have 13 seconds for a whole clip. Just put that in relation. So yeah, Loka can just take their mobile forces to rotate back. Also this IS-7 here being very quick on the rotation. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Let's skip forward a little bit. We don't need to see everything here. Loka is trying to counter push the A corner, because that's also what would allow them to have some better map control and somehow trap the HSOP team in a pocket here. But HSOP is doing a good reaction of not letting their teammates die over there. I just noticed something which I did not notice in the game. The IS-7 that was in the desert here pushed into the back of Loka, so the medium and the light tank could just rotate out and quickly kill him while trying to leave their heavies in a tank disadvantage fight to hold up the HSOP team a little bit longer. HSOP did have comfortable position here. Agile Hippo maybe a bit too aggressive for the amount of hit points that he had here, but still, look at the positioning of HSOP. Loka being pushed back here. Their push did not really work out here. They lost the tank already, although most of the Loka team's players are still quite healthy, whereas on the other side, yeah, Agile Hippo clearly is a weak spot here. He should try to get back behind late boy. But this IS-7 here really messing up a little bit by getting behind the team, isolating himself instead of trying to help out. If he just pushed behind, then he needed to make sure to make his teammates counter push the other side. But as he already had the 2 mediums fighting him there at this point, yeah, HSOP really needed to counter push at this time here. Otherwise, they would just lose. And that's also what's going to happen here. The focus fire not really on point on the side of HSOP. Now Fantastic is getting pushed onto, but HSOP really giving up the positions This guy having only one shot in the champ and not going for the reload, still chasing the guy that was being pushed onto by two of his teammates. And HSOP completely gave up the positioning. They had such an advantage by having strong positions. They could just pressure from all sides and maybe push the left side with the 2 tanks, push the right side with the other 2 tanks to get in the crossfire. It would have been enough to just send 2 tanks onto this one isolated Loka tank here in order to get the kill, but the other HSOP guys really gave up their strong positions just to try and get the IS-7 there, although they did not even get any more shots. Well, Loka here clearly outplayed HSOP, lots of misplays, and that's what makes the difference between top 8 or top 4 team and top 32 or top 16 team. The top 16 teams often lose because of doing mistakes. The top 4 teams lose because of not having the right strat. On this game, we are quite often seeing this move here by the I7 to just hold C by just moving right in front. But what is really important to make this position work, let's quickly pause here, is to have someone, at least one guy behind, if not even 2 guys. Often we are seeing like some tanks in the very far corner, like double Kranwagens, double M6 or something. Some tanks with autoloaders that could really put in some heavy crossfire if this IS-7 was getting pushed onto. Like having someone over there, maybe even someone on the right side here to just shoot into this. Remember, if this was the crossfire that HSOP was able to build up, then this IS-7 would clearly not have died for free. Loka would not have even pushed onto him. They had no chance of clearing this IS-7 without suffering a lot. They would have lost a huge amount of hit points, and they would have maybe lost some hit points early on, and then they would have decided otherwise and would have tried to rotate out towards A. And as you can see here, there are so many tanks, actually 6 tanks from HSOP heading towards A and B, that they somehow had to make sure they would get this isolated tank for offering this isolated tank to the Loka side, and the IS-7 was clearly in worse position than the VK90 because the VK90 could just drop down. I can show you in a bit. We're about to see him. Yeah, we are about to see him just now. He is cross-firing, and this position of the VK90 being very passive here, HSOP did not really have any chance of pushing him out here because this guy, he is on side scrape, he is well hidden behind the houses. If he's getting pushed onto, he would just drop down into this kennel, and then if HSOP still went for him, they would have really bad positions down there if they could not keep the high ground. Otherwise, in the city, they would also have bad positions, as those are not hull down positions, but just positions in the city between houses where you are showing your entire tank for peeking out. HSOP gaining the cap advantage, but just losing 1 tank for absolutely free. As we are seeing in a bit here, the IS-7 is down. Even Late Boy also suffered quite a lot for maybe overextending to put out some support fire here, support the fire for the IS-7. But here already, yeah, HSOP lost an entire tank, and the damage that Loka lost for that was neglectable. It was absolutely nothing compared to an entire tank and even half another tank, plus some more shots onto these guys here. Not the best trading here also. Like, if we are having a look at the positioning of HSOP right now, this was already deciding over the outcome of the game. Apart from the fact that they had an IS-7 that did not have any backup, HSOP is not trying to passively hold the dune area here. They do have these dunes where they can go hull down. This one is not even that perfect because it can get crossfired from the other side. They could try to hold A. They could try to take these dunes here, take high down positions, take strong positions. But as they are that aggressive in the front here, Loka can just move up, which they are doing in a second. They are just moving up from two sides and can then crossfire the M60 and the Vickers, and they cannot get back anywhere. They are completely trapped, especially the Vickers should try to stay somewhere in the back because he doesn't have a lot of hit points, and then he could put in some fire, some support. Maybe he could also just go a bit more aggressive to spot one side or the other. But yeah, like this, the Vickers is a horrible position for his tank. That is the first position to get focused, where you would maybe want a very heavy tank to take the shot so the others could counter push then. But that was not about to happen. As we could see here, Loka was just free to peek out on either side and shoot down late boy. There goes late boy, and the Vickers light about to die as well. HSOP still desperately trying to counter push with the IS-7 on the one side, but they are not able to do so. On the other flank here, with the Kranwagen having lots of tanks in front of him, as HSOP is at a big tank disadvantage. Tongue twisting. Good, so much about that. It was only a best of 3, so that was it, only those 2 games. We did have quite a long time for the analysis part on this one. Next one is going to be, see for yourself, Loka versus Annie, starting in about 2 minutes on Kennel. Interesting map, very interesting map for tournaments, as it allows for some really nice strats, sometimes some push strats, sometimes we are seeing some heavy crossfire, passive gameplay at the start, so teams are just trying to punish anyone going for A or D and then deciding where to go. Let's see if I can still have a closer look here at the strat real quick. Only 2 minutes left, but that should do fine. Kennel. Good, there we have the map. So, what we are seeing quite often is that tanks are like spotting B, even in randoms. That's the best thing to do. Going for the B spot in this area, either on this side of the house or the other side. And also spotting over here, because then you can spot the crossing. Well, Loka have sent one tank down there the last time, having sent some tanks towards A, if I remember correctly. Currently they are readied up with a griller and a lot of projectiles. What is this setup? What is this setup? Well, yeah. Often we are seeing some camper over here, some spotter in the front, getting in some crossfire like this. Aggressive spots in this area are also possible to get in crossfire like this. Otherwise, pushes onto one side or the other. Getting the C cap, well, C and B are mostly ignored on a very high level actually, because they can get decapped. Let's see whether this gorilla is going to climb up this hill here. Yeah, he is. That is some very strong position for the gorilla. Yeah, he has to get back and then with full speed move up there. He's not moving up yet. He can possibly have some cross shots onto those guys on B. There he goes. Nope, he got stuck. Okay. He will need another try. But Loka already being super aggressive, sending 2 tanks over to C instantly. I've done the same strat a long time ago, but okay. Those are a lot of projectiles. We've just heard the Griller put out some big shot into the Majestic here. Already being a one-shot. Look at this strat from Loka here. The Griller still in the back. He did not manage to climb up. But he's fine. As it is, he can put in some shots into the B area. These Any guys are super isolated. They're having the Griller in the back. They're having a mouse tank in the front. Actually, 2 mouses. And they're having a projectile to the side. Not even to speak of all these other projectiles that are flanking around the map literally everywhere. There's Griller here also in a super dangerous position. He is not a tank that can take up any shots, and he is going to get punished for that kind of position, as he does not have any backup to hold his side, his flank, to be safe from the projectiles here. And what we are seeing right now is Any being in the ditch here. They had to drop down because they were getting crossfired from so many different angles that I had nowhere to hide and take safe positions. And by now this game is already decided for Loka. Look at the amount of hit points on the Loka field, on the Loka side. 4,000 hit points in advance. And the projectiles here, while being on the move, constantly reloading more shots to roll into the fight with another clip then. Fantastic, with a whole clip rolling into the back of this I-7. And this I-7 is not going to survive for much longer. One shot. And there he goes, up in flames. Only 2 tanks left here for Any that are not going to flip around anything anymore. The killer, here's the last one in his AMX 50B. Yeah, he can't do anything about it. What a strat there by Loka with the double mousers. Just pushing C immediately. The Griller as a backup in the back. Projectiles aggressively, very aggressively going for the D side. I did not really see. Probably they also went for C decapping shots. What a strat. How many projectiles have that been? 4. 4 projectiles, double mouse, and the Griller. Well, the teams that I've played this strat with did not do it as well as Loka did. And with their setup of all these projectiles, it was clearly amazing to see. Any here really struggling to counter on that kind of setup, as it was really like not the most used setup that we've seen so far. Probably they have never seen anything like this. They have never trained against anything like this and were completely overwhelmed with what to do against this kind of stuff. Look at Loka's setup right now. Are they being serious about this? It looks like it. They're already up. They're having... No? Unitastic still changing his tank, maybe? I want them to go for this setup, really. Don't switch around now. Okay. It's the same setup now. Only different players. Double batshit and quadruple TVP. The amount of clipping potential that they are having right now is just insane. Any on the other side going for rather conventional lineup. Not even. They have double Griller, an FV42, double M60 and a VK90. It is more of a passive lineup, which will clearly struggle against that super aggressive lineup that Loka is showing there. Loka will just be able to roll in from lots of different angles and get in the crossfire. I don't know if they're going to push one side or if they are just going to spread out all around the map and just going to crossfire from literally every angle. That's what they could do with this setup, because they all have fast tanks. They could still run away if they are getting into a lot of trouble. They could go literally anywhere with this setup and just steamroll or just go for some very aggressive passive crossfire. You know what I mean, map control fight. Let's see. Let's see what Loka is going to deliver to us here. The Batshot moving to the left side, most of the other team moving to the right. The Batshot is going to flank towards A, most likely. Aniatastic, no, not going to A instantly. He's going for the camping position just to get in some cross shots onto B. Unitastic here delivering a very aggressive first spot, putting in, not really putting in any shots yet, but he can have some good crossfire onto the FE42. Of course, the FE42 can't possibly hash him, which he already did with one shot. But with, oh, the TVP here clearly being too greedy for this. With a double griller in the back and all the ANI tanks being pre-aimed for anyone trying to push the FE42. That was a little bit too much to handle for this one TVP. Also Fantastic suffering a little bit here. The FE42 not going to survive for much longer. Fantastic most likely, nope, he is bouncing him. But this FE42 is not going to survive much longer. It is Anyatastic from all over there. It is on the hill. From the hill, he's getting the cross shots in. we are seeing a camping bedshot on this game. Who would have thought Loka would do this? But Anya getting spotted here, getting smacked for that, losing 1k hit points here. And yeah, he is having some support by Unitastic, but Unitastic is gone. Unitastic just got deleted off the field in a matter of seconds. Not even seconds, that would be too much. Anya still taking another shot, but the Gorilla is isolated in front of him. The Gorilla can't escape anywhere. If you're seeing the Gorilla on the other side here, he does not have anywhere to go anymore. He does have a Super Kong to support him, but Anya might possibly just get into the corner. And nope, he is not trying because he might just die. Is he going to get him? Nope, double tap on Anya and he is gone. How's it looking actually? How's it looking? Let's quickly take a breath and get some overview of the situation here. The Loka team, the TVP team, is down 1 tank and down 1000 hit points. They clearly wanted to make it too exciting. I guess they were just under too much adrenaline, got too greedy. And yeah, they could not really make this work. They did have a good approach, but they overcommitted to the pushes, lost too many tanks for nothing. They could not really find a weak spot except for the FE42, but they really wanted the FE42 while he actually had quite a lot of backup still. And this was not really working out for Loka yet. But nobody without me actually being in the back of ANI facing the M6 here, so he can't peek out. Ooh. Gorilla getting deleted here, as there is Fantastic on the other side on A. Now we are seeing the huge advantage that these mobile tanks can offer here. Majestic pushing onto the TVP, and the TVP will have a really long reload. The M6 will be reloaded in about 13 seconds. Not even. Look at how fast the small gun's reload is. The TVP does have about 22 seconds of reload. But look at this crossfire. Loka having turned this around from being down a tank and 1000 hit points. They are now winning this encounter here because of this huge map control that they can take. Just take a look at the map right now. There are Loka tanks literally everywhere. And ANI could not afford to chase any single one of them because it would mean that they would show their back to some other TVP. With a quick reload of the TVPs, it would only take like a few seconds and your tank would be down 600, if not even 900 hit points. So one more tank is being taken out here, but Foxtastic most likely not going to miss this one. And Loka bringing home this win. A really nice win there by Loka, having turned around this game. I think it was the last one. I would have liked to see them lose actually, so we could still get another one. But we are just heading straight into the next game. It will be the lower bracket now, where it is HSOP versus ANI. We've just seen ANI still sweating from the last game, just having to play straight again, not being able to take any breath. And the winner of this matchup will then meet Loka in the finals again. Any still having a chance here. If they are winning this one, it would be really good for their points. And judging by the way that they played, Any does have a fairly good chance of winning this game. While HSOP, of course, they would also have to win in order to get into the top 16 maybe. But for Any, it is closer. If APA loses and Any wins this, at least this one, then Any will also be in the next stage, which is tomorrow, because the top 2 will get into the next stage. It's not only the first place that gets into the final stage, but the top 2. So if Any wins this one, it does not matter if they are losing against Loka again, they will get a place in the final stage of the 4th PYS. And Any will really need this because they are just on 9th place. And if they are winning, APA is losing, they might still get into the top 8 and get their camo, the pro camo. I don't know if the top 2 of the Challengers tournament also get a camo. I think so. I think that Wargaming has introduced this last time, or top 4. I don't know. But rewards are, of course, better in the top 8. And top 8 is a different thing. Top 8 is like the top level. And that is what every team is really aiming for. After having passed the first tests of getting into top 16, whatever they, or top 32, they want the top 8. Every single team that is heavily committed to tournaments will not be happy with anything below the top 8. That I can tell you. Okay, let's quickly have a look at the map here. Okay, I still need to drink something. Okay. I'm ready. Yeah, we do have Port Bay now. This map, as you can see already here, is the map that is mostly played for the sea area for most teams. But that's not the only thing that would be possible. Sea area, of course, offers some very nice hull down positions everywhere. Does also offer a little bit of high ground compared to the city, because you do have these plateaus over here. You can take map control hull down positions to fight off everyone in the city, but you only have 1 cap. That is mostly the case. Medium side offering only 1 cap compared to the 2 or 3 on the heavy side, but offering the better positions. For tournaments though, everything is possible. Teams are working together and they can make a city strat work. We are not rarely seeing some tanks move over towards A, towards B. There is this very strong hull down position behind these hills in the back here that can get in some decapping shots on A. It is almost impossible to push out this position, or you will need a lot of time and waste a lot of hit points. You can also decap A from over here. You can go hull down there. You can decap B from lots of different angles that are like everywhere over the map in the back here. So often we are seeing some passive strat over here with, yeah, sometimes some passive strat in this kind of formation. Sometimes very aggressive C pushes, or even rarely ever, but we are also sometimes seeing A pushes. But the problem is, if they are running into nothing, then you give up a lot of map control. Let's head over to the in-game scene so you do not see the map in front of you all the time. We've had this in the past already. We've had this already. Okay. Toivo. Let's go. Let's go see what these teams are going to do. Only liking heavy setups, quite often going for city pushes even. But yeah, they are all moving towards the outer side with an interesting setup here of a Chieftain, Super Conqueror. What else do they have? Double I7, double M6, and what was the last one? A mouse. The I7 just getting into the corner. On the other side, we also do have I7s YOLOing this corner. It will be 2 I7s here on the side of Annie that are holding up the corner, but there will be some more tanks over there. As soon as the mouse does have the option to move in, the mouse is going to push the middle area. That would be the way to go for Annie. They really have to do so because HSOP is going to get the corner. It will not really be able to counter push the corner with Annie's people here. They do have to give up this corner and counter push the middle right now. They are still afraid. The mouse is coming into the fight now. The mouse rolling in first, trying to take up the shots from the Yos here. Will be the question whether the Yos actually are going for the mouse. Annie has to win this flank, and they are doing a good job at that. Miss Pyko going down here, but also Kimo in his M6 from the Annie team is quite low on hit points. Has HSOP cleared the I7s just yet? One of them still alive, and it took a HSOP 5 tanks to do just that. They have given up 2 tanks for clearing 2 tanks. I don't know if that's worth it, because right now, it is, or up HSOP actually. HSOP getting out on top here. It's always confusing to see those team names if they are not having the clan tag behind it. But yeah, HSOP now having the corner here and having a 2-tank advantage. Not having any hit point advantage though. But 2 tanks more on the field and far better positions may decide over the outcome of this match. The Majestic overcommitting here on this push, taking far more damage than he could inflict. Well, it was a trade of 1 tank versus another for another, which was clearly not worth it here. They could not afford to lose too many hit points here. That's the problem about this push through the middle area, through C, that you do get crossfired quite a lot. Annie was able to take out 2 guns. Man, so many tongue twisters today, I'm sorry. But look at the positioning now. Right nut in the corner, being able to put out some crossfire. Very hard to push that guy. Those 2 tanks here can basically not get pushed because they are having the Vickers just behind to cover them. But still, hit points are neck and neck. If HSOP is not careful about what they do, then they will not get away with this. And Annie actually doing some really nice trades here. Shooting down the I7s in the middle area. The Super Conk actually still rolling in, but taking a lot of damage for that. 1600 damage deleted of his hit point pool. That just turned around the game. But he had to do something. He had to try at least to maybe push onto these I7s in the middle before the right nut was coming out behind him. Map control far better on the side of HSOP in the end. This push just took too long in the middle area because the mouse was so damn slow to get there. But Annie could not, I don't know if they could have still gone for the corner, if they could have still tried to support the corner. Fighting hull down IS-7s in the corner is clearly no option. So in my opinion, it would have been really tricky to counter push these 3 IS-7s in the corner, because Annie would have taken a lot of damage for that. So they had to somehow be faster with the push on C, but the mouse was just taking so long to get to the fight. He was still very far behind when Annie, HSOP was already super aggressive with their IS-7s. And HSOP just lost a lot of time, did not really trade well with the 2 Yos for the 2 IS-7s, as HSOP lost more hit points on the go. Interesting. Interesting, those lineups here with like lots of heavy tanks and the mouse really not paying off on for Aini on the last game. They are trying again though. But we were mostly seeing rather like hull down tanks go into the C area. Maybe some mediums, heavies hiding into the corner. Mostly it's like 2 mediums and a heavy tank. This time it's been 3 IS-7s versus 2 IS-7s. But yeah, this push here clearly took so long, and also the Yos were just able to do a lot more damage before dying than the enemy IS-7s there, because they just had a one shotgun. The Yos could put out at least a whole clip before dying, and also then they could maybe even reload another one. They could just fall back and allow HSOP to have a lot of time to still shoot into the rear of Aini. Let's see what is awaiting on us on this one. Vickers light tank on the field again for HSOP. It is 1-on-1 by the way. Each team won one game. Vickers going for a very aggressive first spot here. Maybe not really expecting Aini to go for the outer side again, because of having the E100 and the mouse. Is the mouse tank still on the field? No, it's not. This time it is only 1 IS-7 from Aini getting into the corner, and again 3 IS-7s YOLOing straight forward into this area. But it will be a problem to have this chieftain very passive in the back here. I don't know. It can of course support the corner a little bit, but maybe Aini should try to counter push again. There is not too much backup for this Yo actually. He is quite alone. Aini can afford to just push forward towards this ramp to get in the crossfire. Should try to not take too much damage for that, but they can take out a gun here. Just have to make sure that they do not lose anyone for that, and they will do fine. The IS-7s this time not able to push forward because the chieftain is way more passive in the back and giving some backup to the IS-7. Still one tank of the Aini team also being deleted. These IS-7s here getting farmed, but I don't think that this is the right call, as these IS-7s are quite tricky to penetrate, while it would maybe be easier to kill these much weaker and much more dangerous tanks over there. And that's exactly what Aini is about to do just now. Killing the Vickers here, even blocking him, making sure that he is not able to escape anymore. Was that just a bounce shot? But okay, he is down. Vickers is down. This late boy here in his M6 now being alone against 4. These IS-7s in the corner, although having the map control, having the crossfire, they are also having very inaccurate guns and not a lot of DPM. These 3 tanks here can farm if they want to. Right, not just hitting the ground with that shot. These IS-7s can try to farm a little bit from a distance, but it won't really matter for Aini, as they are fine with that. They're fine with that. An IS-7 is not too dangerous at a distance. The IS-7s should have clearly done something, try to get into the fight and do a little bit more than just trying to support from a distance. That's not what an IS-7 is good at. It needs to be aggressive and take up some shots, bounce shells, and get close to really hit his shots. Otherwise, it is just like bad focus fire. Also, from a distance, you're not able to shoot the important targets. As you can see on the side of Aini, the blue team right now, the hit points are very spread out over the whole team. Everyone is low, but no one really got focused here. Of course, Kemo is down, but apart from that, no one really got focused, and Aini could just win this by focus fire, mostly because they had found one isolated Yo in the front. I think that's it for this encounter also. I think it was a best of 3 again. Yeah, oh no, it's only the first map. It's only the first map. I was telling some trash there. Apparently, it is a best of 3 again, but it was only one map that we've seen so far. It's not one-on-one. Now it is one-on-one after this game. Okay. But we are changing the map to Winter Malinovka. Let's have a look at that. Winter Malinovka. Often teams are just going for some... No, that's not that well visible. Teams are often just going very passive in this area. Having some tanks over here to decap everyone moving into B. Passive strats, especially from the north spawn, are quite popular. But also pushes towards A can be done here. Sometimes for that also some tanks are sent down here. That is a little bit risky thing to do because they might just offer a weak spot. From the other spawn, of course, the A push is possible in the same manner. You do even have some better positions over here because you do have better hills here that are covering your tank a little bit more than on the other side. But it works from both sides. Apart from that, we're also often seeing some passive tanks here, as well as over there, that can deliver some crossfire into B or into anyone crossing anywhere. But of course also C strats are possible. Let's see what is going to expect us on this one. Okay. We are having double IS-7, double M60, double VK-90 and a Vickers light tank for HSOP on the field. On the side of Ani, we are also having a Vickers light tank going for the symmetrical position, just mirror to the enemy Vickers to get in the first spots. And the first spot already paid off quite a lot as Ani is pushing down here with these Yos, and they are suffering for that. Not too much, but a little bit. But the Vickers also losing some mid points on the crossing, and he got tracked here or drove against the rock. I don't know. I think he got tracked also. Not getting killed for that just yet, but he is down to a 2-shot for all the tanks on the field. Not a good start here for HSOP. But Ani also really losing a lot of hit points so far. And HSOP now all trapped in this little corner here. They are having some safe positions, but they are not having the best map control. If we are seeing the Ani team on the other side, it is split out or spread out over the whole map here, taking a very far crossfire front line, a very broad front line here to get in crossfire from lots of different angles. And I think that this might offer an advantage to Ani. Oh, the Majestic here going super aggressive on Agile Hippo. I don't think that this is worth it. I don't know yet if we are going to see enough support for him. The Vickers Light also rolling in. Maybe the Majestic was a little bit too early on that, but the right nut here actually missing the shot on the side of the Majestic. But the VK-90 and the Chieftain also moving in already. Vickers light tank about to go down to the other Vickers. There he goes. And this will mean that Ani won the upper side here, as they are now having enough tanks to fight off the HSOP tanks over here, which is an IS-7 and another IS-7 actually. Miss Piker also getting to help here, while still being able to hold the other flank here and trading. Not effectively, but they are trading. Actually, it was a good trade because this allowed Layboy to kill the one shot here while also pushing down Rashidi and his M60. He does still have the shot loaded, trying to get the kill shot, yet he misses this one. Not able to connect here. It is still pretty close. It's still pretty close. We are having 3 tanks on the side of Any and 4 tanks on the side of HSOP, yet 2 one-shots on the field, 1 goes down. Hit points in... They are neck and neck basically. 100 hit points difference. IS-7 though, getting crossfired here, getting farmed from lots of different angles. This IS-7 is really isolated in bad position, not being able to hold it up any longer. Late Boy now has to win this fight. Late Boy is the only one left that has some hit points here for HSOP, with about 2k hit points on the field, while also having cap advantage still, but that is going to change very soon. As the Vickers light tank from Any, Any managed to get the C cap, and the Chieftain here got the B cap as well. M6 you're still to the side. He is going to peek as soon as Late Boy is going for the Chieftain. And then Late Boy is going to take an anti-clip. The one-shot Yo actually trying to support from behind, but getting killed for that. HSOP is going to lose this. What a chaotic game. Well played here to both of these teams. That was clearly chaotic. It was super hard to keep the overview. Where is the advantage? Which team is winning what side? And yeah, it was really hard to call this one. Got to admit that. I don't think we have a room. Oh, we just got the room invite. Okay. Just got the room invite for the finals. It is again best of 3 though. I would have loved to see the grand final in best of 5 actually. But okay. It's alright. It's alright. Next map is going to be Kennel again. We've seen Kennel already. Oh. By the way guys, I hope you are enjoying the show so far. If you are enjoying the stream right now, then don't forget to hit the like button to show Wargaming that you want to see more of my content, especially for the professional season. I don't have an invite just yet, so your support would be highly appreciated to show Wargaming that this is the stream that you want to see, or this is the streamer that you want to see comment on the professional season. Like one of those, it will not be only one, but I would be honored to be one of them. Last time I was able to stream the NA tournament, the professional tournament, and it was just too much to get up at 3 AM. I'm not going to do that again. So I'm hoping to get a place for the EU tournament this time. Okay. Also guys, I just hit the 1k subs. Still, every new subscriber is very welcome if you are interested in seeing more of my content concerning random gameplay, driving school, replay analysis, platoon gameplay, relaxed sessions in the evening. You are welcome. But let's get over to the gameplay again. Enough advertisement here from my side, and let's show you the gameplay. Okay. We still have about 3 minutes left to go. Still a little bit of time. And we are going to see a very familiar map again, which we have seen on the previous game already. Loka. Loka just going for a very relaxed meme setup. They are just planning on having some fun on this one. It is not important for Loka to win this. It is absolutely not important for Loka. They are currently #1 on the chart. Any is 9th. Any wants to win this. Any will try hard, because if they are winning, they will be in the top 8 if APA is losing. I don't know about that. We might have some results already. I might look that up actually. But Loka, just, you can see the setup. Maybe they are still going to win this. It would be a shame. It would be a shame. Let's see. Also, I quickly have to get something to drink. Be right back. Okay, I did not miss the start yet, that's good. I will quickly change the scenes because I want to see the current rankings, or the current results. No. Okay, and we did have APA still. No, APA is also in the grand finals. APA also in grand finals. So they will also get a place for tomorrow's tournament then. I don't exactly know about the amount of cups. So it might be... is there still enough time? First place, 3,600. That's only 200 cups difference. That won't really have a huge impact. That won't really have a huge impact on the rankings there. Depends on tomorrow, I guess. If you're out first, or if you are if you are getting to the grand finals, then yeah, that would probably make a difference. I don't know. If Ani still has any chance to get into the top 8. It is a little bit of a bummer here, but okay, let's see. Serious threat. Ani going for a quick push. They will take a lot of map control here. They are ignoring the caps though. They will get A soon. But Loka is also going to get D and actually being quicker at that. Loka will have the tank advantage or the cap advantage. But oh, look at that poor 113. Okay, I almost feel sorry for him, but damn. Loka was all lined up waiting with every single tank on the ridge line just for anyone to get into B. Wow, okay, that poor guy there. He should not have done that. He should have been aware of that, to be honest. I mean, what else were Loka guys going to be with all those TDs in the back? They were pre-aiming all the caps. That's a tank advantage to Loka. Loka not having lost a single hit point so far. Actually quite funny to see like almost all of their tanks being at 1,908 hit points, except for the Vickers. And fantastic here, going a bit more aggressive to get in the spots here. Fantastic being in a comfortable position on the hill, not going exactly to the top of the hill, most likely because he could expect to get blind fired just there. And look at this. Look at this. Look at the hit points here of the Ani team. They are diminishing with every ongoing second. With every passing second. The IS-7 still losing some more hit points. The 113 here not that healthy anymore. The IS-7 in the middle also quite low. How is Loka able to win with that kind of setup? And it is the FV183 with a max roll here. We could hear that. The bing sound. The 183 actually putting out some big damage there. Having lost the first bit of hit points already at Loka. I don't know how they are able to win this. Oh, Anya took the first beating. Lost a lot of hit points here for being in the open. But Ani has already lost 2 tanks. They are down 6,000 hit points. Loka is well aware of that and they are not hesitating to push in any time longer because they know they can now afford to go in and get some kills before losing on the trades, as they do not really have the strongest tanks. And there goes Rashidi. And Unitastic bouncing on the 113, but will be able to get him with the next shot. only 2 tanks left for the A&E team here. It is the Chieftain that is gone just now, and the I-7 in the A corner, camping behind. Oh man, what a game. Was that how many FV45s? I think 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, no 4 FV45s, FV42 Vickers and 183. Oh damn. I'm out of words for this. A&E also now going, like, it doesn't seem to be the most serious setup anymore. They're having a Badger, an Object 268. And they may be going for a lot of budgets. I don't know. A&E still wants to win, but I think they are aware that they can't really get into the top 8 anymore. Maybe they are just aware of that and now also switching to a more fun lineup. Oops. It's really interesting to see how Loka is actually able to still make use of such lineups. Those are lineups which you should never or would never see on random games, and clearly they did not have any strong lineup. They did not have any armor at all, and yet they were able to make use of it by just going for some good crossfire onto B. They had like 4 or 5 tanks lined up for that. They were all waiting, and just when the 113 dropped into the cap, they had the Vicker spot for them, and that was the last minute, the last second of the 113's life. Lots of grills this time, and double Vickers. But the Badgets might have an advantage when it comes to the mobility, of course. Might gain a lot of map control, but they are all YOLOing one side. This might still work out. But they are not meeting anyone there. Some blind shots flying in there, but okay. Badgets will get the cap advantage. They could do so at least. They do not really want to offer their position just yet, but they are now going for the cap as well. Code name YOLO Wolf. Oh, that's interesting. Where is he? Let's see. If he gets spotted, then he might actually just... Yeah, he's not getting spotted there. The grills don't have any view range at all. So just some blind shots flying in. No one was spotted just yet. Foxtastic actually trying the B cap. I don't know. No, it does not seem like A&E would have the decapping shots on B, and this might turn around the game for Loka here. Because Loka just wants this cap advantage, and if they have this cap advantage, they can just sit back and enjoy the show with all these griller tanks in the back. A&E should not have ever allowed for this cap advantage. Because this cap here is just so important for Loka. Now they can just sit back, and A&E has to push into them. But they have all these grills in the back here. Look at them. Just look at this line. Just look at this line of fire on this hill here. These guys will punish anyone that is doing any mistake. Fantastic spotting on this side. And it is Foxtastic spotting the other flank here. The Vickers light tanks with a really strong view range will not spot the Badget in the bush, but it might actually get crossfired or blind shot there, because it is like, yeah, it is a common position for anyone to spot. I'm just waiting for that blind shot into the Badget. I'm really waiting for the blind shot. Come on, someone, please. Please get the blind shot. Batchet reloading now. Come on, someone. No. Okay, Batchet dropping down there as he was afraid of getting spotted. But Foxtastic actually not being able to get the spot in. Now moving on top of the hill here. Not knowing about the Batchet right in front of him just yet. He's going to climb up there. Yep, he made it. Now he will have a very strong position to get in some crossfire and some spots. That's the most important thing for Loka right now. Having these spots, and yeah, these grills in the back will do the rest. Cap points still ticking over for Loka. 700 points on the clock. Annie being clueless about what to do about this situation now. They don't really have any approach so far, or not showing any approach. The gorilla just lost a lot of hit points. Ooh, some shots flying in there. I think the FE maybe lost some hit points on the crossing. I don't know for sure. Did not see that. T22 getting deleted also. Annie here now trying to push out the Vikas. But the Vikas is safe in that river, because anyone that would go forward here would get deleted off the field. Foxtastic therefore is still somewhat safe, although he does not have a lot of backup here from the grills. He's just behind this little hill. And yeah, the points are ticking over. And Annie can't really afford to counter push anymore, as they don't have any hit points. They have 3k hit point disadvantage. Code name YOLO Wolf. Oops. Losing a lot of hit points while trying to get over to B. What is this actually? Anya-tastic not connecting a single shot. 4 shots fired. I guess those were all blind shots. Look at this. 4 times 0 damage on the side of Annie. They could not find any option to push onto. Just some blind shots here and there. I think they all just tried blind shots. Just look at this. Oh, the T22 here did not even shoot a single time. You could say he was AFK, but I'm quite sure that I would have noticed about this. Okay. This was the grand final, actually, of today's stream. So, that's it for the live games today. I would still have a look at, like, the TVP game from Loka was still very interesting. I still want to have a closer look at this and analyze that one a little bit. Also, I don't know if there was any other game that yeah, the game from Annie versus HSOP on Winter Malinovka. I'm also going to have a closer look at this one still. If you're not here for the analysis part and just wanted to see these live games, then thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, don't forget to hit the like button. And hopefully see you on the final stream tomorrow, where we will also have best of 5 games and even a best of 7 in the grand finals, then with the strongest teams that we have right now. Let's also quickly check about the ranking of or the outcome of the APA game. Although it does not really matter, because like Annie lost this one, they won't have the points. I don't think that there's still any chance for Annie to get into the top 8. Okay, still some battles in progress here. But yeah, we could see APA lose to our against Cash. Okay, not the strongest opponent, to be honest there. Annie just lost. Annie still had a game versus Vale, so that means they still had a second team. I don't know if we've just seen the first or second team. I can't say. What else? Okay. Let's get over to the analysis then, I would say. It's just behind already. Let's go for live and get back. So, I've said Loka games were interesting to see. Loka TVP strat. That was, I think it was this one. Batshit TVPs, yeah. Oh, actually, man. I made the strats perfectly fit in the middle, and it's off again. Meh. Okay. But never mind, let's move on here. Let's move on a little bit and see how Loka was able to win this. First of all, they lost like one tank for free at the start already. But like the most important thing that was happening right now. You can see that there were like Loka's tanks. They were mostly going for the push in the corner. But they also had this guy, the Batshit down here, that was going just into the middle, getting in the spots. So anyone that was crossing over there would have been spotted. By that spot, Loka knew exactly how many tanks were going to be here, and it was only the FE42 in this case. Then they also had this Batshit over there, interestingly, on the hill, to deliver some crossfire into anyone over there. It could still shoot the FE42 actually. So we've had these two tanks shooting the back of the FE42 with all the others pushing in from the front. The TVPs clearly overcommitted on this push, misplayed a little bit, especially Reshtastic here, just really being in YOLO mood and yeah, just having fun, as it was not that important for Loka. But yeah, that almost cost them the game already. I guess Reshtastic probably was not even dealing any damage. And still, Loka was somehow able to win a 6 versus 7 here. But this FV42 clearly is trapped here. Loka just tried to pressure him from the front a little bit, because whenever this FV was doing a mistake and moving back, he would get shot from behind. That's exactly what happened right now. Aniatastic getting in the crossfire. And there we have Loka now not having any tank disadvantage anymore, but still, look at the hit points. 2,500 hit points less. Question is, how is Loka going to win this? First of all, this Batshit here is soon going to die because he was super aggressive. If he wanted to play safer, he could have just gone for the outer side, would have been no problem. But we know that Loka was not being serious. So I don't want to blame anyone for misplaying here. I just analyze this for you to know how this eventually worked out. The Batshit here also just dropping over to A, not quite getting there, but he is pulling away 2 tanks. Meanwhile, just have a look at this. Look at the minimap here. The tanks from HSOP are all in a very small part of the map, while Loka is able to take that huge chunk of the map. They can therefore crossfire into this area from lots of different angles, which does not allow any to properly hide anymore. If they have like a house like this one, they can stand behind it, but they have like one tiny small spot to really hide in. Otherwise, they're getting shot from lots of different angles. That's what's happening here. Loka could have actually sent some more tanks or their Batshits together towards A to really make this work and get some better crossfire. Yet they were just camping a little bit and it still worked out. Now the TVP is actually doing what I mean here. At this point, Loka is starting to play serious. Loka is starting to play seriously. They do have a tank down. They do have 1,000 hit points down. Not anymore though. They just got the hit point back. I think it was like over here where I paused a little bit. No, oh, okay, I went back too far. But just look at the minimap right now. Loka does have a tank over here. They do have a tank over there, which is quite aggressive, but he is quite healthy against a low M60 at this point. They do have these tanks over here, this tank over there. How is Annie going to push them out? Although Annie did until recently still have more tanks and hit points. Let's get to the point where they do still have the hit point and tank advantage. Just look at this. These tanks are really trapped there. Whenever they try to push one, the others are going to shoot and pressure. If they would push onto this one, this guy should shoot their back. And this was just amazing how Loka actually was able to turn this one around. Okay, let's still have a closer look at the HSOP games on Port Bay, maybe also. Also quite interesting what happened here exactly. I already analyzed a little bit there. Just after the game. Not going to spend too much time on this, but it might be interesting to some of you. Okay, here we have it. First of all, we could see the mouse really take a really long time to get into the fight. Come on, just load, please. We do now have the tank disadvantage in the corner already here with 2 tanks against 3. And most of the team from Annie being in the middle area. They have 4 tanks in front. They should make sure that they do not let these tanks escape. But they messed up at that. They got farmed. Right now, there is still 2k hit point advantage to Annie, but they lost it. How was that possible? First of all, we can see Annie now push one side here. They're all pushing for the Yos, but they are ignoring these 2 tanks, and they will shoot into their side. What Annie should have done otherwise would be to just send like 1 or 2 tanks to the outer side maybe. Problem is of course that the IS-7s then could farm. But maybe just send the mouse to the outer side in this case. To make sure that these enemies will either suffer or not be able to focus fire in this area without getting shot. Maybe they even try to run away. If they try to pass the mouse, they will still lose a lot of hit points. Like this, Annie needed 5 tanks to push onto 2. But they did not even really commit to the push. They did not clear late boy. Thing is that late boy here, he was not getting focused anymore. I think he's getting away with this. Yep. Late boy is surviving after taking up a lot of shots from the autoloaders. And those shots of course are needed because these autoloaders, they only have a specific amount of shots on their clip. And after they shot, they will be on a long reload. By now, the first IS-7 is down on the side of Annie. The second one will also die soon, although it will be in exchange for the other M60 over there, but still. Late boy got out of this. Maybe this IS-7 and the other one should have still tried to put in some crossfire like this, because the M60 late boy was very far in the open. 2 shots from the IS-7s, or from one IS-7 each, 1 shot into late boy instead of trying to fight the IS-7s over here would have allowed to kill late boy, because he is at 875 hit points right now. Focus fire really not on point. Shooting the IS-7s in the corner in a 2v3 situation was clearly not worth it. The IS-7s should be ignored by Annie. They should try to consolidate their forces, try to focus fire in this area. We're now having a hit point advantage still quite far on the side of Annie, actually. Look at this. Annie 8,500 hit points against 5,960 on the side of HSOP. But the positioning right now. Double IS-7 in the corner. And then these 3 tanks, they are in bad positions. Absolutely. Late boy can't escape anymore. He only has 1 shot left. He is about to go down. The Vickers though, he can run away. The IS-7 can also go hull down in this area, and he will have support from the side. Annie does have 2 tanks in the open over here to the right side. And 2 tanks getting into really bad positions here. The Chieftain really overcommitting, although having some hit points left. Any should have played safer because they were at a tank disadvantage right now. And if they just send the Chieftain to C and let the mouse hold up the enemies, maybe on the left side would have been too risky because the I7s could just farm hull down. Everyone else could also farm hull down. Mouse is really not the best hull down tank. It is good in a push, otherwise it is not. Because it can take up some shots, it can bounce some shots, but if you give enemies the time to aim in for you, then you will take some shots into the turret, especially from good players, as even though HSOP is only in the top 32 at this point, you can be pretty sure that these are also some of the best players of the server. It's still like, they are not on, they are on 18th place right now, so they still have the 18th best team of the server, and those people, they train for hitting shots and surviving usually, not like in random games where it doesn't matter when you miss a shot. So what would have actually helped here is just to regain the map control, get some tanks over here, get them, maybe even try to cap the base and maybe send the other tanks to the outer side, I don't know, or maybe trying to leave them in the back, trying to flank around from the outer side here like this. Could have also worked if those two were passive enough to survive this, because the Chieftain here was clearly not in position to push out anymore. And if they just left the mouse in a passive position, Chieftain just behind, then they could have even flanked around and got in some crossfire from a different angle. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure right now how this could have worked out from this situation, because Any already had really bad position at this point. And now they are clearly losing this because they just lost another tank for free. The Chieftain just got into a bad position. HSOP has so many low hit point tanks, but no one really got focused. Late Boy still alive here. Majestic really wanting the kill, but Late Boy again being able to drop down as no one is there to shoot the back. Look at this. This is really something that Any here would have to work on. The crossfire. If they send like 1 or 2 tanks in from this side, they could easily have like another tank shoot in from the rear, like this. If it was maybe the mouse, imagine the mouse pushing in from behind, Super Conqueror being hull down together with the M60 over here, they could just focus out Late Boy and the other guys from 2 different angles, if not even 3. Late Boy could not get anywhere safely, and all of the Any tanks would have safe positions except for this Yo. Maybe he was a bit overcommitting here, but it would have worked if someone else was shooting the back there of Late Boy. Like this, he just died for free. Late Boy, okay, he is going down, but still, like, it was not safe. The M60 really had to push out quite far in order to get the last shot off, and was going down for that. Yeah, now it is 2 versus 4. There is not much to analyze right now. It's clearly not working out. Good, only good to point out maybe how HSOP played this out, having those 2 tanks being quite aggressive, building up the pressure, while they are still having the I7 and the Vickers behind in a good formation. They are just taking up the map control here and being able to shoot into the Any guys from lots of different angles. On the next game, it was working out a lot better for Any. HSOP again tried to push the corner here. Yet this time they were not successful at that. This time it was not working out, and that is mainly due to the fact that they had the M60 quite alone in front here. Just look at this guy. Although he does have some backup from the side, they can shoot into them, but yeah, you know, these guys, they are passive. They can support with some damage, being dealt, but they can not put in their hit points into the game effectively. The amount of, or the hit point sharing really makes a big difference here, because Miss Pyko is getting shot from 3 tanks now, while there are still some tanks behind. If Miss Pyko would drop down behind, then there would be this guy crossfiring. And also the chieftain would maybe be able to still get off some shots. So I think at this point, what would have been... First of all, HSOP should not have left this M6U completely alone in front of everyone. It was absolutely a misplay at this point already. As, yeah, he did not have enough backup. There needed to be like 2 or 3 tanks, and they could still have some backup from behind. With 3 tanks over there, 2 tanks at the front, 2 tanks in the back. That could have worked. That could have maybe worked out. But still, 2 tanks in the front is still quite risky. Rather 3. They can't get killed that easily. But like this, it's also what I like to do in random games, to be honest, to just push onto this hill here, this ramp. Because from this ramp, you can then shoot into the corner. But in this case, shooting the corner was not worth it, as there were no mediums in the corner. Usually in a random game, it would be mediums in the corner that have high DPM, not a lot of armor, not a lot of hit points, and it would be really helpful to clear the mediums. Therefore, you can just push up this ramp and shoot out the mediums. In this case, those were IS-7s, and the dangerous tanks were actually over here, especially with the Vickers, a very light tank, being in such a dangerous position to getting pushed onto. Any could just push forward there, and these IS-7s, they were just being ignored. They were completely useless for the HSOP team because they did not push forward. They still tried to help on the side. Pushing forward would have taken them a lot of time to kill the IS-7 and the chieftain. And they would have won a 3 versus 2, but they would have lost the 4 versus 5 on the other flank. Therefore, it was not 4 versus 5. 5 versus 4. Yeah. Yeah, that's it already. That's it already for this one. These guys still not sure what to do. They could just push back, but I don't think it would have worked pushing back here, because then the I7 and the chieftain with a good DPM would have just farmed and gotten in the map control. Like this, it was just lost from the start on when the M6 was alone in the front. Next game. That one was also interesting to see. Yeah, this push here, I'm not a huge fan of that. I've done that position in training sometimes. And quite often you get stuck there in the middle on this ramp here, where we can see the any tanks. Especially if you don't have the corner and then you have these tanks over there. Imagine if the enemies are all on the outer side here and still having some tanks up there, maybe even some tanks up there. Then these tanks could not escape anywhere without getting shot. And yeah, the A side could be cleared, and yeah, these tanks would have really bad positions. That's from my personal experience in trainings. Also, you could see them suffer quite a lot just for pushing in there without gaining any advantage. They could of course shoot out the Vickers, but that would have been also possible from being up here maybe. But yeah, look at the map right now. That's what I also pointed out throughout the match. Okay, Any still, or HSOP still has the C-cap, but it's only a Vickers Light over here. Map control is still quite good on the side of HSOP yet. Let's quickly pause here. Yet I really liked how Any was able to take this part of the map. They could even send these tanks quite aggressive, or more aggressive than they did, towards their spawn, towards the typical TD position, the hill over there. That's what I would have actually done, what I would have preferred here, to secure a lot more map control. Although it was still quite far, they were maybe afraid of those guys getting crossfired or getting counter pushed, as there were a lot of HSOP tanks just in front. But with these tanks like this, they could just crossfire everyone up there. Of course, they had to be super careful to not send this M60 too aggressive into the back here. Otherwise, he would be a weak spot that could not be covered that easily. But like this, Aini was rather going passive after going aggressive. Then the Majestic pushed in. Yes, Aini did have a good hit point advantage right now at this point here, but I don't know, man. This push, why is he pushing in completely alone? He was maybe asking for some help, not getting any help. He should have just waited a little bit, because there were still two heavies right behind him. They could just move up and help with Agile Hippo here, who was very alone, isolated of course, but pushing in alone with the M60, where there were still some tanks, two tanks here on B and C from the HSOP team to support Agile Hippo here. That was clearly not worth it for the Majestic. Although they did have a tank advantage, he was just way too aggressive and almost threw away the game here. The right nut still missing this one. Was quite lucky. Otherwise, Majestic would be dead in a second. But yeah, with Bengtu, the Vickers Light on the side of HSOP also having lost quite a lot of hit points at the start already, it was not really a problem for the Aini team to now take him out. I was absolutely not sure where the game was heading at this point, to be honest. I've got to admit that when we were seeing this game here, I had no idea who was actually at an advantage. Of course, now I see there is a tank advantage to Aini, as the Vickers Light just got killed. But still, okay. It is actually, now that I'm having a closer look at it, it is quite obvious. In the game, I was not sure when, like a few seconds ago, when the Majestic pushed in here, I thought the Majestic was just going down. The others were too passive behind, and HSOP would just gain a tank advantage here. But this did not happen. Although the Majestic got killed and Agile Hippo got killed as well. There was also the Vickers getting killed, but the hit point advantage of Aini actually diminished. But now we are seeing the Aini guys being not in the best positions actually. They are in a 3 versus 3 situation in the middle here. But there is still the Vickers putting in some cross shots from behind, and that is crucial here, because this Vickers, it is so hard to push onto. It is like having a Vickers in the later stages of the game is the most important thing, or having a mobile tank there. In the early stages it is risky, of course, because you just risk losing a lot of hit points and losing a tank for free, like on the HSOP side. But if you're able to keep the Vickers on medium until the later stages while gaining the medium tank advantage, then you do have someone to crossfire. And if HSOP decided to counter push this Vickers, which they would somehow have to do, they would have to kill this Vickers or really focus on other tanks. But the Vickers has a lot of DPM and can constantly put in some crossfire into the middle area here. And whenever someone is turning for the Vickers, it will take them a lot of time to kill him because they are too slow to chase him. And by now, Aini or HSOP is already down 2 tanks, so they cannot afford to go for too much map control anymore. And they are all in this very small area, actually 2 areas, 2 separate fights. There are 3 guys over here and another 2 guys over there. And this Vickers is free to crossfire. And if anyone was chasing him, all the others could just shoot the back of, for example, Miss Pyko. Imagine he would chase the Vickers, then everyone would shoot him. And the Vickers could eventually maybe still run away or kill him then. But okay, at this point it was already lost, as I'm seeing right now. Although HSOP was still able to go for this push here. Maybe Lateboy should have pushed in first. But okay, it was working out. They are winning this 2v1 here, but they are losing 3 tanks in the middle. So that was resulting in the defeat here. as there was not much else to do. Okay, let's check one more game. One last game that I want to have a look at. If you've been here a few minutes ago, then you'll see what's coming. The 113 going to get hammered. Oh no, 1766, and there he goes. What was happening here? Look at the minimap right now. Aini was trying to get the double cap because they knew if the enemy would have to push into them, then Loka would really struggle a lot to be able to do that. But they also did not go for C. Maybe it was because it was their initial strat. Maybe they also feared the FE45s to try to shoot out C. I mean, if there were some tanks over there, some tanks over there, some tanks over there, maybe Loka could have done a strat to just shoot out C and punish anyone going for the cap. But if Aini was not going to cap C just because of that, then they should have been aware of Loka also being able to do that for the B cap. Loka did not go for any CT capping shots. They had a passive lineup, so they had to go for a passive strat. And look at the map control again. Loka really making use of that. They are taking a huge part of the map here and having lots of tanks in lots of different angles, being able to shoot into B. There are like 2 tanks over there, 2 tanks over there, another 2 tanks over there. This guy not able to shoot in. Maybe even the medium had some shots. I don't know. No, right now probably not. But if you are on a hill here, you even have the option to shoot B as well. But that's how Loka won this. They had the map control, crossfire, all were lined up waiting for someone to do a mistake here. And Aini just ran into the trap. Having most tanks over there, they were still just sticking to their initial strat, I believe. They had something in mind and they went for it, not really adjusting to the setup. Otherwise, they could have tried to leave some tanks in the back and just maybe go for some better map control, because they knew that the enemies could not really play aggressively. Actually, Aini still having a hit point advantage right now, but they are going to lose that very soon because they are not having any map control, and they keep doing mistakes like the chieftain. The chieftain is in the corner over there on A, still getting shot down because there is also Fantastic doing a great job of just spotting up everyone here because he is able to go super aggressive. Aini does not counter that. They could possibly even send like 2 heavies down here to just make sure to shoot out the Vickers, punish them from the rear as well. I don't know. Like this, they had 3 heavies camping, 2 heavies at the front here, 1 heavy at the front there. They were weak spots, and yeah, just look at this. That's the map control that Loka has. And yeah, the middle would be here. Loka does have this part of the map. Aini is more like this, because those tanks here, they are down. They can't really do anything. So it is, for Aini, it is more like this. Well, let's draw it a bit more accurate. Drawing skills with a mouse are just insane. And Loka on the other side can just go for this huge part here. Yeah, that was a pretty drawing there. Well, yep, Loka winning this one now. That's it. That's it. This little fact is already deciding over the outcome of the game. Are we going to have a look at any other games though? I think on the next one, Aini had the mobility advantage. They could afford to go for the map control and make sure that Loka was being trapped in a little pocket here on A. If Aini was somehow able to secure the B decap and just rush into D with double batches straight away, then they would have an advantage. they would have really an advantage because Loka could not afford to go aggressive. They could not afford to send their grills towards D. Otherwise, they would just have no chance fighting any of the other tanks. Hull down, getting clipped by Batchets, FE42, Object 268, T22s. Would have been no way to win a close combat fight. So it was clear that Loka was going to play rather passive in the back. Maybe going for A, maybe having some campers set up here. So I really needed to get into the D cap straight away to secure the cap control. Then make sure that Loka was not able to get B nor C. C was a little bit easier to hold, but still, if there were like a lot of grills in the back here for Loka, they could still punish anyone like this guy when trying to decap C. But yeah, what Amy really needed to do is go for a lot of map control and cap control to not allow Loka to just so comfortably sit it out, because that's what happened here. Loka just took the cap control by being able to take B, and Amy was now trapped. Now we can also have a look at the holding position. What is the difference now between the previous Loka game and Amy's gameplay? First of all, there is not much over here. No one can really crossfire B. That's what happened on the previous game. Loka had 2 tanks over here to crossfire B. They did have some campers over there to get in an additional crossfire. There's only one Batchet over here on this hill who can't even really shoot because he would just get spotted and he would get killed from the grills. So he can only spot, he can't really shoot. That's not really map control like this. They do have spots, that's it. There are tanks lined up over here, 1 tank over here, and of course some tanks over here. So the map control mostly is like this actually, while Loka does have this part. And yeah, it is not a huge difference, but Amy had the option to go for some better crossfire and punish these Vickers whenever they were trying to spot. But they just had to make sure to not run into the grills. I think especially from this side, it is really hard to shoot the Vickers without overextending into the grills. From the other side, you could do that by just getting into this corner. You could just place a Batchet on the hill or the 268 and shoot the Vickers whenever he was getting spotted. Have some spotter in the front, some farmers in the back. That would be the way to go for Amy on this one, to secure that they really make use of the map control that they could afford to take while Loka was trapped in a pocket. But Loka just placing these 2 Vickers at the front, having everyone lined up to support, was also a really nice job here. I'm actually surprised that I'm analyzing these meme games that much, but they can still teach you something about how this stuff works. And yeah, also interesting to me, of course, I have not always played, I don't think I've ever played such a lineup, nor played against such a lineup. So I'm also able to still learn 1 or 2 things just by having a closer look here. Okay, I think that's enough. That's enough. Or is there still any other game that you really want some analysis on? I think that's been the most interesting game so far here. All right. It's actually been the second Amy team here. Okay. Not the first team. So the first one is probably better than this. Okay. Yeah, guys. That's it for now. And that's it for today's tournament stream. Thanks for watching. If you are still here, still like a few people stayed for the analysis part. I hope you had some fun, and I guess that you liked already. If not, don't forget thumb up to tell Wargaming that you want to see me in the pro tournament. Apart from that, that's it for today. Tomorrow will be the final day of the Prove Your Skill tournament. I would be glad to see you back there. And yeah, for now, have a nice evening. Enjoy the rest of the day. Have a good night and see you soon. Thanks for watching.